So once again, good morning to everybody. And today's topic we'll discuss about is SES, Simple Email Service. Uh, so this topic is regarding how to send emails. So let me share my screen with you. So I shared this YouTube videos with you just 10 minutes before. I hope you got all the mails of this YouTube's videos. So you'll find the service simple email service under the category of application services here. So what is SCS? Let me explain you. So we'll have a diagram. So how our mail servers are designed. So we'll talk about that. So usually what you can observe that at the end of your mails like ravi@gmail.com. So we call gmail.com as an domain name of the user mail server, and Ravi is an user in that domain. So for every mail server, we'll have a domain like raju@yahoo.com. For that, yahoo.com is a domain. Kishore@hp.com. hp.com is a domain. So similarly, like for every mail servers, we'll have a domain name. Assume that we had a mail server. So I'll draw a mail server with this diagram. For timing, let us assume that our domain name is xyz.com. So on your mail server, you had a domain xyz.com and you had an users Ravi and Raju. So అప్పుడు వాళ్ళ మెయిల్ ఐడీస్ ఏమవుతున్నాయి అంటే ravi@xyz.com, raju@xyz.com. So this Ravi and Raju are the users of domain xyz.com of mail server. So let us assume you have purchased the domain name and you wanted to have your own domain name. So you purchased one of the domain name from web portals like other sellers like GoDaddy or BigRock. Then it's time to establish a mail server. So you created users on the mail server, and even not only we can purchase the domain names from this sellers, domain sellers, we can also purchase the domain space. ఇక domain name ఏంటి అంటే xyz.com, and for hosting this xyz.com website, for hosting the xyz.com mail server, everything like hosting the database server, we need an host space. Host అంటే వాటికి మీనింగ్ ఏంటి అంటే let us say, so I am at my home. So actually I am not the owner of this house, somebody was, so I am hosted in his place. So you got the meaning of hosting, right? So similarly, after purchasing the domain name, you need host place for that. So they'll provide the host place also, the domain sellers, where you keep your website. You'll host your website on his host space. హోస్ట్ స్పేస్ అంటే ఒక సర్వర్ ఇస్తాడండి మీ వెబ్సైట్ పెట్టుకోవడానికి. అదే సర్వర్ వెబ్ సర్వర్లో, and he'll give you database server on his host space, he'll give you mail server on his host space, he'll give you FTP server on that host space. With what? With the same domain what you purchased. So let us, మన scenario, we had a mail server and the domain configured to that mail server is xyz.com, and we had two users, Ravi and Raju. Now this Ravi and Raju wants to send email to some guy to other domain. Let us assume the other mail is to whom they wanted to send email is ramu@gmail.com. Similarly, from this mail ID you can observe that here also will have an mail server, and the domain name of that mail server is gmail.com, and the Ramu is an user. Okay, user of this gmail.com. So when you are trying to send email from Ravi to Ramu, so how do you send? First, you'll compose a mail in your laptop through Outlook software, or you'll compose a mail in your laptop through web browser. This is an Outlook software. From here I can send emails, composing and sending to whoever wanted. I already composed my email to this Outlook, or I can send it through browser. Okay, and the second, when you send, click, when you click on the button send, so what happens, the mail goes first, the mail goes to your mail server. So from user desktop or PC or laptop, from his computer, the mail will go to his domain server, domain mail server. From here it will go out via internet and it will reach to destination's domain mail server. From here it will go to the user. You got it? So first Ravi composes a mail, it will go to his own domain mail server. From there it crosses internet asking, I was looking for gmail.com mail server, where it is, and DNS server ni domain name servers అడుగుతుందండి. The packet crosses every router and it reaches the DNS server, and from the DNS server it will ask, I was looking for gmail.com mail server, do you have the record of, we'll call that record as MX records, do you have the record of gmail.com domain mail server? If DNS server has, it will say yes, I had that record, it is located at some IP, let us assume that 115.115.64.79. in this IP your mail server gmail.com is hosted. To go to that, so the packet will reach to this domain server. From here it will say, I came from raju@xyz.com, I was looking to deliver the mail or message to ramu@gmail.com, the sub user of your domain. So he'll forward that. Like that this mail server works. So ఇక్కడ ఏంటి అంటే, you'll observe that sometimes when you send an emails, those will be gone to spam folder, some will be bounced back, some will not deliver. So why these are happening? Going to spam, bouncing back emails. So this is due to while composing a mail we had some standards and like the mail content should not contain unzipped kind of అంటే ఒక virus kind of files, the attachment should not contain some kind of extensions, unknown kind of extension files it should not contain, and the composing of mail should be in some pattern. So we had some standards while composing an mails. For ట్రాన్సాక్షనల్ మెయిల్స్ అంటే ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ మీరు బ్యాంక్లో ఒక ట్రాన్సాక్షన్ చేశారు, యుల్ గెట్ ఏ ట్రాన్సాక్షన్ మెయిల్ ఫ్రమ్ కోటాక్ బ్యాంక్ ఆర్ వాట్ హెచ్డిఎఫ్సి బ్యాంక్ saying that you have been just purchased so and so. We call such kind of mails as transactional mails or marketing mails, sending the same mail to thousands of people for marketing your product. That kind of mails we call as marketing mails. So for delivering or for sending mails of marketing or transaction, we do have some standard procedures and protocols. So while composing, if you doesn't follow those standard procedures and protocols while composing the mail, then there is a chance of your mail going into spam folder or bouncing back. So that let us assume you composed some mail and you wanted to deliver this mail to 1,000 different users. You just click on send, but you compose the mail in unformatted way. So what happened? Due to the standards, I said you every mail server will follow these standards for composing the mail and reading the mail. So it observed that 1,000 mail server observed that this mail has unformatted way, and also it has attachment, that is the extension of that attachments are not foundable. So it will consider it as spam and they'll push those mails to your mail to spam folders. And this mail server will notify your domain because the mail came from xyz.com, ravi@xyz.com, right? So it will notify that xyz.com domain is sending some spam mails. So what I'll do, I'll keep his domain in my blacklist. So every mail server will maintain a whitelist and blacklist. So it will keep your domain in blacklist. So whatever the mails that come from your domain, either it may be ravi@xyz.com నుంచి కానివ్వండి or raju@xyz.com. So if you send the mails from this xyz.com, so already know that Gmail server, because on previous mails you send some unformatted mails, unformatted transactional and marketing mails, so spam mails. So he know that you are not trust relationship worthy to get mails. So you'll be on blacklist. So whatever the mails you come on the second time, so he'll directly push that mails to you spam, or he'll just don't accept your mails. He'll throw back those mails to you only. So how we call that process as trust relationship process. We call that process as trust relationship process between two mail servers. So every mail server in the world will maintain a trust relationship with other mail servers. So consider a scenario where you wanted to start up a small company. You purchased one mail server and you designed some product and you wanted to advertise your product to some thousands of users. So you composed a mail and you started sending mails to thousands of users, the same mail at the same time. So you are a new in the market. Your domain name what you purchased is a new in the market. Recently you purchased your mail domain name and you hosted your mail server. So you're trying to send some thousands of mails to different domain mail servers. So even they haven't heard of your domain name before. So in that scenario also your mails will go to spam. So in order to escape such kind of scenarios, see, even though you composed your mail on your startup product from your startup company with a very good intention of marketing your product, but as I am new in the market, my domain name is new in the market, the other mail servers are pulling my mails into, they are throwing my mails into their spam folders. So it would get lost my reputation. See, whenever a client observes your mails is landed into your spam, what he thinks about your company, particularly in marketing scenarios. So in order to escape these kind of scenarios, we Amazon has a service called SES, Simple Email Service, for marketing and transaction mails. So what we do is, in between your mail server, we introduce our mail server. So in between your mail servers, we introduce our own mail server, AWS SES. So whatever the mails you wanted to send to the destination, either it is marketing mails or transaction mails, you send via, listen the word carefully, via or through our mail server, because AWS, our mail servers, SES mail servers will maintain a very good trust relationship with other mail servers. So we maintain a very good trust relationship with other mail servers, because while composing the mails, we do provide a documentation for transaction mails and procedure mails, how to compose the mails. So by using this Amazon SES mail servers, so where we use only, you can see that on every mail server you send mails and you receive mails. This both works on two different protocols. For sending mails, we use what protocol, Bharat? What is the protocol for sending emails? Anybody knows? We use Post Office Protocol version 3 or IMAP for receiving mails, and for sending mails we use SMTP. Sorry, SMTP, Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, for sending mails. For receiving mails, we use protocol POP3 or IMAP. Guys, I told you what is the difference between POP3 and IMAP and SMTP on networking classes. Please go back to those second or third class of our course. There you'll find the clear description on POP3 port number, IMAP port number, SMTP port number, and why we do is that. So our AWS SCS service will act as a mediator mail server between your mail server and the destination mail server of what you mail you composed, only for sending mails. We act as a mediator only for sending mails, and we don't involve in receiving mails between your destination and sender. Are you getting my point clearly? Under the SCS mail server, it acts only for sending mail servers. Sorry, sending mails. So let us assume that xyz.com wants to send 1,000 mails to gmail.com users. So for sending, you send via me, AWS SCS service, our mail server. But when you wanted to get reply mails from gmail.com users, what you sent, it doesn't go through our AWS SCS emails server. So it will directly reach to your xyz.com only for sending. Because why? First time while sending, it looks for the trust relationship. So we maintain a good trust relationship with other mail servers. So that's the reason we use Amazon SCS. So not only for this, let us assume you can see the big websites, e-commerce websites like flipkart.com, snapdeal.com. So they'll send some thousands of mails, some lakhs of mails to their clients, their customers on every day. Sorry, on some lakhs to their clients on every day regarding the product or offer, whatever it might be. So In such kind of scenarios, they're big product scenarios, they'll use such services like AWS SES or maybe other service, email service of other product. Okay, so what I'll do, just me directly will log in into this console port of AWS. So here we are. So under this application services, you'll find SES because he is offering this service to you as SaaS, software as a service. So on the back end, he is taking care of that web server physical hardware, sorry, mail server physical hardware, and he is taking care of that mail server platform, operating system above that, and he is taking care of the application, the mail server application that is hosted on that server, and he is telling us, I am providing this application, what the mail server application, to you guys, Amazon user guys, as a SaaS service. So you don't worry about the physical server or the hard disk size, RAM size, compute size. I'll take care of it. You just worry about sending your emails. So let me log in into this SES service. So we log in into this SES dashboard. So here, right now Amazon guy is offering this service only in 3 regions throughout his entire data center regions. And I said you, Amazon guy has 13 data center regions across the world. Among these, he is offering this service to you on only 3 regions: Ireland and Virginia, Oregon. Will enter into Oregon, in Virginia. So if you want to use this service, always choose the nearby region to you. So here it is. This is what the dashboard of what he is selling. So first, you have to enroll your domain with SES mail server. Verify a domain so that after verifying your domain, so whatever the mails that comes from the whatever the users that are on the domain, so those mails will be forwarded via this AWS SES service. For that, first you have to verify your domain, whether the domain is yours or not. Okay, or if you want to send these mails to customers not from all the users of the domain, so let us assume, as I said you, under the xyz.com domain you had two users, ravi.com and raju.com. Let us assume raju.com is a guy, he is from marketing, and ravi.com is a guy, he is from development. So only you want raju.com, sorry, raju@xyz.com, this users to send emails to clients, and this user has to send email via SES, Amazon SES. So in these scenarios, why should I enroll complete my domain to this AWS SES service? I'll enroll only an user. On that scenarios, you go with single email ID. Just click on verify a new email ID. Give the email ID. For time being, I wanted to go with my email ID. So he sent an email. So now I am in the list of verified user. So but my status is pending because I haven't verified. So I'll go to my mail ID. So I got a mail from him. So he's just saying to click on this email so that I'm accepting to send my emails through Amazon SES. So you have successfully verified an email address with Amazon SES service. Now you can begin send emails from this address. Just refresh this. You'll see the status to verified. So it's verified. Now this is how. From here, as I'm verified person, so whatever the emails I sent, those will be tracked by this service. See how many emails I sent for today. You can see the deliverables of the complete emails on the thousand. Let us assume you sent 1,000 mails for today. Here it is an email quota bar. It is restricted right away to us only to 200. If you want to increase your email sending limit, then you have to raise an ticket to AWS guy saying that I want to increase my email sending quota from 200 to 2000 or 20,000 or 2 lakhs, whatever it is. But you have to justify why you wanted to increase and what's going you wanted to send. You have to justify the reason with them. If they accept your justification reason, then only they'll increase the email quota. Okay. So out of these 200 emails, let's assume I sent 100 emails, so I can see how many delivered into their client's inbox, how many got bounce back, how many clients has complained about our emails. Like some people what they do after reading the emails, if they don't want that emails, what they'll do just raising complaint on our mail server. So that complaint emails and how many rejection has occurred. Let us assume out of 100 mails, you typed some 2 or 3 mails email addresses wrongly. So it will get reject those emails. So from here, this you can see the metrics value, the graph value of how many got delivered, how many bounced back, how many complained about our mails, how many got rejected. In metrics, graph metrics. So let us assume there is a scenario you wanted to integrate this SES service to your product as a API, application programming interface. So you're designing some e-commerce website and you wanted to that you have a separate portal or website or web page on your web portal or of your e-commerce website, like registering your email address for getting a notifications on the product that you like. In such scenarios, you have to integrate this SES service to your code. That can be possible even. You can integrate this service to your programming languages, either it is Java or PHP, whatever it is. You can call this service through APIs, and also you can get these values, metrics values to your product through APIs. I mean to say that on your product itself you wanted to see how many went delivered and how many bounced back, how many say మీరు ఒక వెబ్సైట్ డిజైన్ చేస్తున్నారండి. So assume that you had a sub page of your product, that whatever the website you are designing, that sub page contains today how many mails I sent and how many bounced back, how many delivered in your product మీ వెబ్సైట్ లోనే ఉన్నాయి. So how do you know that value? You have to query this SES mail server through API calls and you'll get the values and you can represent in your product subpage. That also can be possible. So on the back end, how is escaping this? How is maintaining very good trust relationship with other mail servers? Ante this AWS SES guy will change continuously his IP address of his mail server. So for every time, for every some time period, he'll change the IP address of his mail server. And he said, let us assume he had some X IP address to his mail server. He sent some 1,000 mails, and from the 1,000 mails, 100 got rejected due to whatever the mail composing problem or wrong mail ID or content that is attached to that mail is not in a very good extension format, or it contains a virus or Trojan kind of things. So second time you send, what happens? The mails that got to spam on the last time, so it will observe you. Oh, again I was getting the same mail ID from the same IP address. So what I'll do, I'll bounce this mail. I'll drop these mails to my spam folder, or I'll I'll throw back these mails to him only. So in order to escape such scenarios, what we'll do, he'll continuously change your IP addresses. No, you want your mail servers to have a dedicated IP itself. In such scenarios also, there is a dependent with your product or whatever. You can apply a dedicated IP to your mail server. Next, where can I get these SMTP configurations that I wanted to integrate to my product for sending emails? From here you can get that. So this is what the SMTP details: the mail server address, domain name, or we can call it as an URL. And this is the port number it is using, port number 25 or 465 or 587. And it supports the TLS, yes. And authentication, for that you have to create an IAM user. Right click, go to IAM service. So on the last class we created one user, right? IAM user. So what we'll do, for that user only we'll give this permissions of SES. So on that user, go to this policies of that user. No, click on the user and go to these groups. For this group, we'll attach a policy of what is the service name, SES full access, so that this user will have the full permission for sending emails. So we'll configure whatever the secret key and access key that we created while creating this user to our product. In your Java code, we'll write that, so that by using that secret key and access key, it will authenticate into this SMTP of your mail server, and it will send mails. Okay. Guys, just be on hold just for a second. Okay. So second, what is this suppression list? So for example, you send some 1,000 mails from your mail server via SES service, and on that you observe that 100 mails are not delivered. So what they'll do, because those contain some unformatted mail composing or bad attachments. So what they'll do on the back on the destination's mail server will keep your mail domain name mail server, or will keep your mail server's domain in blacklist. So we call that list as suppression list. So if you want to remove your mail sender's mail ID from the suppression list of destination's domain mail server, then from here, as you said, from this, as I said you, from the statics graph, you can observe what are all the bounce mails, reject mails. Just type your that suppression list mail ID so that SES guy will remove this, or he'll talk with the other mail servers, destination mail servers, and he'll remove your domain name from their suppression list, or their blacklist, or their red list. We call it as RBL list, or BL list. So, so you can see it's an blacklist lookup. From this RBL list, there are a lot of websites that are maintained by their different domain names. You can see whether your domain or the mail ID that you sent from your email is in the blacklist or not. We can also do that. Removal of suppression list. Next, cross account notifications. It's like a scenario. See here, he clearly said that uh, if you have been authorized to send emails using identities that you do not own. For example, you wanted to send emails or notification emails to different users that are aligned to different account of AWS. What is going to say if you have an been authorized to send emails using identities that you do not own? Okay. What does his representation of this identity mean? You can use this page to configure notifications for those identities. So this is a new thing on the IDSL. On the recent session, I haven't had this cross account notifications. So he's talking about this email service. He configured it to SNS notification services. So, see, on the last class I said we had two different kind of services with Amazon. One is SCS and SNS. SNS for notifying the end users, and SCS is for sending an emails. So notifying the end users can be possible via sending emails, or via sending a pop-up messages on their apps that you install on their phone, or the products that install on their, or the application that is they're installed on their laptops, or SMS to their mobile. So if you want to send notification services through SES, so he's talking about that topic. So guys, so just let me have a look at this particular session as it is newly added to the service, and I'll tell you about this cross notification on next class. So if you want to even receive the emails through Amazon SCS mail server, Then also you can configure it here. Just provide the mail ID from from which you verified domain you wanted to receive via this Amazon SCS. So let us assume if you want to reject some mails from this IP address, 54.169.86.47. So you are getting some mails to your inbox from this IP address, some spam mails or the mails that contain some uh, malware attachments or unformatted language mails, or it contains some different kind of things. So if you want to block this, you can block from here. Or you wanted to allow whitelist one mail server. So whatever the mails that come from this mail server, I wanted to keep in allow mode. I don't apply any filter options on that. Filter options అంటే every mail servers will follow some, I said you, some procedures and protocols. They'll cross check, they'll scan your each and every mail. అంటే they don't read your mail content, but they'll scan whether the attachments that you attach to your mail is an proper extension or not. So what kind of filter you wanted to create? With the help of this filter, you wanted to allow or block any mail servers, sorry, any mail servers IP address. Such kind of scenarios, you can create a filter here. Let us assume you had two offices, you are the owner of two domains, and you the employees of both offices, UK and India, wants to exchange mails daily. They'll exchange some lakhs of mails or thousands of mails. So in that scenarios, you know that the other end of who is sending the mails is a trustworthy domain name. In the scenarios, just you'll whitelist the complete entire IP address of the mail servers to whitelist by just clicking on here allow. Such kind of rules you can apply on this mail servers, or you can create whitelist or blacklist from here. IP address filters on email receiving, not sending. So what are the exact rules you wanted to create on the IP addresses that you wanted to allow or block? That rules can be written under this rule set. So let us assume I want to get mails from ramu@gmail.com. I configure this xyz.com domain to this. Add recipient. It is checking. Oh, this guy is already existed. What kind of actions you wanted to perform? Whether if the mails that come from this guy, you want these mails to be in bounce back, or you wanted to send these mails to your S3 one of the bucket, or you wanted to configure this as an SNS, or work mails. These are all the different services of AWS. SNS, Lambda, work mails. We'll talk about this on later sessions. So I wanted to bounce his mails with what? Saying that message, you are not authorized to send emails. Like that, I can create an bounce back rule, and I can apply this rule on whatever the mail IDs, IP addresses that I want to block. here. Okay. So this is what all about SAS and so for your case, you just remember that we use Amazon AWS SCEs for sending emails. Why? Because in order to escape from delivering your mails into spam folders or bounce back such kind of scenarios for marketing and transaction mails. So from here you can see what is your bounce back rate, delivery rate, complaints rate. It's kind of matrices you can query the Amazon SCS and you can get those values too. Okay. So any doubts on this topic, guys?
Karthik.
Yes. Yes, Madhu.
So how do we know? How do we know the how? Because so for example, I am sending it from my IP address. So some to Amazon.com, but Amazon.com wants to block my emails actually. So how we could understand that this is from my IP? So IP, I don't know how we can understand how we can filter my IP. Is there any other source apart from IP that he can stop my emails getting exchanged?
See, for the first time when you send email, so he'll reply saying that you have been blocked. We don't want your IPs, and we like you'll get a bounce back message from the in the bounce back message. The message content will clearly the content will have it clearly why it is bounced back your emails, what is the reason, and from which domain mail server has bounced back that email. When you query ping request on that particular domain name, you'll get a IP of that domain name, or just you can have a you'll know the IP address of that domain name by looking into this whois.com వెబ్సైట్స్ చాలా ఉన్నాయి. అక్కడ వెళ్ళి ఆ డొమైన్ నేమ్ స్పెసిఫై చేస్తే ఆ డొమైన్ ఎక్కడ హోస్ట్ అయినా ఐపీ అడ్రస్ వస్తుంది, ఆర్ యూ కెన్ క్వేరీ ద ఐపీ అడ్రస్ ఆఫ్ దట్ పర్టికులర్ డొమైన్ with the help of this from your command line by doing this ns lookup. Mail dot, who is this guy, what is the IP address of that guy. Okay, or just query who is.
You even kept dot.
I haven't keep dot. Okay,
And also, I have one more doubt actually. So if you go to some big projects or some clients actually, they will block complete content actually. So how does it possible? Is it like HTTPS via some if HTTP only it's coming, it will try to block. Lot of content will get blocked. So how do even if it's created today, it will get blocked. So how do they manage those things actually?
they'll have their own kind of uh, scanning rules, Madhu.
Mhm.
See, I can
Because for
write a
instance, I
I
see a lot of content getting blocked in my company daily. Even if I check it, even it's created today, it will get blocked.
Yes, see, for every mail server on the end users of their mail server, destination addresses for every mail server, they maintain their own kind of check rules. So, for example, if you really hosting your mail server and you are maintaining your mail server, then the mail server guy
Mhm.
will write in rules on this, what kind of mail should I allow and what not. See, for our scenarios, we do rely on other vendors. For example, I hosted my mail server with HostGator. So he'll take care of it.
Mm-hmm.
If something goes wrong, is not bound, getting into my inbox or spam, what I'll do, I'll raise a complaint to my domain hoster. So it's a very different concept of domain. It's a very big knowledge. అదొక different course ఉంటుందండి emails కి.
Okay.
So we are not going in that scenario. Here we are saying that we do have a service of Amazon SCS. So here SCS guys also on the back end, there are people working on this SCS service who will regularly check query with other mail servers, and they'll always try to whitelist our domain, their domain, SCS mail server domain, and the domains that are configured to our, and the mails that are going through our SCS. They'll always try to whitelist and try to gain the trust relationship, a very good relationship with other mail servers by continuously what they we call by changing their rule sets or whatever it is depending upon the market.
Okay.
So market లో చాలా ఉన్నాయి. You can observe a lot of emails like send in blue. So this is for email marketing purpose. What he is saying, if you send emails from your domain, there may be a chance of landing your emails into spam, or so you use our send in blue mail servers. So we'll ensure that your mails are delivered into inbox. Like that, there are a lot of these service offerings in the market.
Okay.
Similarly, we
Hey,
do
one
offer.
last question, Karthik. Actually.
Yes,
So how we even we block all this, but we get some phishing mails actually. So how does it comes actually still? Is
to
that
your
again a
to your
different concept,
inboxes.
or yeah, sometimes we get some phishing mails actually.
So because maybe the sender of that particular mail is very clever that he is on the back end changing his IP address regularly. See,
Okay.
మనం ఇక్కడ ఏం చేస్తాం, you know that you wanted to block this particular mail ID. So
Mm-hmm.
what
Yeah.
you'll do, you'll go to the actions, you'll keep it as spam, or you'll
Mm-hmm.
you'll you'll keep this mail in bin, or you'll raise a
Right.
complaint on him.
Right.
Or you keep him filter like just landed to spam or whatever it is.
Okay.
So what he'll do on the back end, he'll don't maintain the same IP address to his mail server. He'll continuously change the IP address of his mail servers. So basic domain name ఏదన్నా కానివ్వండి, it is not like saying that my mail server is hosted on only one IP address. Let us assume Gmail mail server, Gmail, there are some lakhs of customers for this Gmail mail server. Do you say that all these customers are hosted on a single server? No, they are maintaining some thousands of Gmail mail servers. So they had some thousands of IP addresses, but maybe they are, how they are taking care of this. Maybe they are using some elastic ELB load balancers on the back end. For Indian customers, they had the mail server on India. ఒక mail server వచ్చేసి ఇండియాలో ఉండొచ్చు. For the Australian customers, they had their mail server in one mail server in Australia. These all mail servers IP addresses are configured to only one domain, gmail.com domain. కానీ దానికి బ్యాక్ ఎండ్ లో చాలా మెయిల్ సర్వర్స్ ఉన్నాయి, and IP address of their mail servers will be different. And he'll usually change the IP address of his mail servers in order to escape from this kind of blocking. That scenarios also we can రెగ్యులర్గా ఏంటి అంటే వీళ్ళు చెప్తారు అమెజాన్ SCS and send in blue ఈ different మార్కెట్లో ఉన్న vendors. What they'll do, they'll regularly change their mail server IP addresses, and they'll change their MX record, not MX record, a record of that mail server. And they'll keep the IP address of that mail servers dynamically.
Okay.
Any doubts, guys? Bharat, any doubts from your side? Yes,
I'm
Hari.
clear, Karthik.
Okay. What about you, Raghava? Any doubts from your side?
No, sir.
No. So, uh, guys, it's like a scenario. If you want, you can do. You can create this. You can verify your mail address. Just practice the scenarios. Deleting, just remove. Just delete identity. And you can configure this SMTP settings to your uh, Outlook, account Outlook. Right now, I enrolled like this, right? I can change the SMTP settings of this mail server to whatever he has given provided here. Server name, port address, either it is TLS and credentials. Okay. Outgoing server, username, password, and outgoing server, what is the port number, and whether it is SSL or TLS. You can change the SMTP settings of your whatever it is, Outlook or whatever, and you can try sending mails. And also go through this AWS documentation, SES documentation, and we'll see this AWS SES pricing, what he's charging. So for the free tier for you guys, he's offering for you. You can send 62 messages per month to any recipient when you call Amazon SES and so he's charging $0.10 per 1,000 emails. And also for data transfer is charging zero price. For every attachments you attach to your mails, right? So per all attachments, like per every GB of attachments that you compose to your mails, he is charging you $0.12. If you wanted to provide dedicated IP address to your mail server, then he is charging $24 per month. So under the free tier, he is offering you 62,000 messages per month to any recipients when you call Amazon SES. Under the free tier, he is offering you 62,000 messages and అది కూడా 200 messages per day కి restrict చేస్తూ. You can send 62,000 messages per month to any recipients when you call Amazon SES from Amazon EC2. So when you are sending this Amazon SES from Amazon EC2 instance particularly, not from my laptop or your systems, or through Amazon Elastic Beanstalk. From this, any of the service, AWS Beanstalk or Amazon EC2 instance, if you're trying to send emails from these instances, then he is offering you 62,000 messages per month for free under the free tier. And for receiving 1,000 messages per month for free through Amazon SES, via Amazon SES. Receiving can be configured. It's up to you whether you want it to be received through Amazon SCS or not. Okay guys, any doubts on this topic? Okay, we'll end this topic for today, and on tomorrow we'll discuss about this SNS, simple notification service. Okay, and I shared all the videos on the last week's on today morning. If you want, you can go through that. Okay, that's it. Anything to say from you guys?